Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna help answer your guys' questions. I know that it's kind of a weird spot with ski pricing. I think, honestly, I like doing these question videos, and I feel like the question and answer videos have become more and more important as the pricing has gone weird. So I'm gonna help answer questions you guys have about skis so you can buy them now while they're cheap, or cheap-ish compared to what the 2026 prices could be, probably will be. Anyway, I've said this 100 times now, but there is a lot of inventory from kind of the post-COVID boom. Retailers way overbought as far as ski inventory goes, and they haven't been able to sell them, so you have this weird valley. And on top of that, you're going to see 2026 ski price increases, at least for some of the brands going into 2026. So now is kind of a sweet spot to buy, a buyer's market, however you want to phrase it. But I'm going to try to help as many of you guys as I can so you can get well-priced skis before the prices go up. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, the first comment comes from Alex Sanzeni on my Volkl Mantra 84 review. They said, how would you compare these with the Blackcrows Octo? I need to decide, thanks. That's a great question, because on paper, they are kind of in the same ballpark, right? Similar width, both kind of lower turn radius skis. But the reality is how they feel on snow is very, very different. The Blackcrows is kind of a light, maneuverable, but like gradually flexing ski, whereas the Mantra 84 I feel like is kind of a shorter radius, more powerful version of the Mantra 88, or as you guys formerly know it, the Kendo. So while some of the stats on paper look very similar, they are very different in characteristic. I would say if you like a lighter ski, kind of a quick, agile, off-trail, lightweight, maneuverable ski, go with the Blackcrows Octo. And if you're looking for something with a little bit more punch, something that is damp, powerful, you can do the short radius turns and it feels good, but it's kind of got that underfoot turn from the Mantra. If you're looking for a more powerful feeling out of the Kendo, a quicker edge-to-edge version of the Kendo Mantra 88 M7 Mantra in that kind of vein, go with that. But like the Mantra 84 is much more damp, much more down the hill, and the Blackcrows Octo is a lot lighter underfoot, a lot more flexible in its turn radius. The Mantra 84 has a bunch of different turn radiuses, but it's almost like a gear shift, whereas the Blackcrows Octo is like you can massage for slightly different turn radiuses, if that makes any sense. They're both great skis. Like if you're looking for a damp ski, I would go with the Mantra. If you're looking for a soft snow, adjustable kind of fun ski, go with the Octo. But both tremendous options, but approaching similar things from very different angles. Great question. I hope it helped explain it and didn't just make it more confusing. Both great skis. What I would do is like write down a list of what you want your ski to do and then watch both of my reviews and then see which ski does it. That way you're not just kind of self-inserting based on what the graphics look like or whatever. Yeah, pick a couple of things that you really care about and then go and watch both full reviews. If this answer didn't help clarify it for you. Thanks for writing in. All right, CarterFan80 says, Stockli Montero is worth it, Stormrider is not, in my opinion. I tried many all-mountain skis that are as good or better than the Stormrider. Not sure I've been on a better front-side ski than the Montero, at any price point. The Stormrider isn't worth it for you. I love the Montero AR. I've done nothing but talk about how much I love it. It is the smoothest, on the point, most beautiful carving experience I've had, but I can recognize that the Montero AR really forces you to have your timing down. You cannot sit on the tails, you cannot get sloppy with your timing, because it really is not a very forgiving ski when it comes to timing. And that's fine, like if you're dialed in, like you said, the Montero AR is the best carving experience that I've had out there. And like you said, you haven't found a better front side experience than the Montero AR. But not everybody has that timing as dialed in as you. So if somebody is not able to dial that in and they do spend too much time on their tails or whatever, their turn initiation timing isn't perfect, then they're not gonna have that same good experience that you are. And for them, the Stormrider is a better option. Or let's say there's somebody out west where the snow gets choppy or it gets so loose that it can kind of fall away from them, then like a Stormrider 95 may be a better platform for them. So, I agree with you that the Montero AR is awesome. But I 100% think that the Stormrider has a place for people. It's a lot more forgiving than the Montero AR. But you know, like in general, I get what you're saying. I just think that there's room for both to exist, and I think that for the right skier, the Stormrider is absolutely a great value and a nice ski. I've owned a pair of Stormrider 88s for years and really liked them, and I tested some of the new ones, and they have definitely improved them. But you know, it has to be for the right skier. If that doesn't line up, then yeah, another ski will be a better value. I feel like that with a lot of these skis where like nobody's going out of their way to design a bad ski. I just think sometimes there are skis out there where they're built one way and then advertised another, like that Faction Dancer 2, where it's being kind of advertised as an all-mountain carving ski, and it's not really doing that. I'm sure it's good at the other things it does, but sometimes it just feels like there's a little bit of a disconnect. Like, oh, well, we could advertise it as a carving ski. We can take our Armada ARV 102 or whatever I reviewed, and we can sell that as a powder ski. But in this case, like the Stormrider is advertised as all-mountain ski, and it's a darn good all-mountain ski. It's very forgiving, and it's allowing people who are kind of figuring out their timing to enjoy that signature Stockli smoothness without getting kind of bucked from it like they might with a Montero AR if they're still piecing together some of the carving in their turns. Or if they just, you know, they don't want to be on with their timing all the time, right? As you get older, or depending on how many days you can ski, maybe you don't have that dialed in every year, and you just want something where you can actually feel that kind of luxury smoothness that Stockli offers. Great comment though. Always insightful, Carter. All right, Rez Ispa Rex says, have I missed the videos of you skiing Sun Valley? Did you not go there recently to test some skis? If so, how was Limelight? Yeah, I did go to Sun Valley and I tested some Stockli skis for next year. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to do those reviews because I had a ton of fun and I liked testing those skis, and probably there will be at least one review that comes out of it. The problem was that the conditions at Sun Valley were really bad. Sun Valley, as the name implies, gets a lot of sun, and the snow got so soft. And I don't know if it was just like the timing with the World Cup, but a lot of the runs I went on weren't groomed. And I spent $200 on my day ticket, and the skiing was way worse than Bogus Basin. That's not totally true. Like, I found parts of Sun Valley that I skied on where it was groomed and in the shadows. And like, at the end of the day, I'd found a couple of sweet spots that were good for making some nice clean turns. But I think they were just so focused on the World Cup that a lot of it didn't get groomed. And it was pretty brutal skiing, and it made it difficult to test the skis, which is funny because like they don't have the RFID. So I was like, oh, here's my RFID, can I just scan that in? They're like, no, we sell paper tickets, you bring it to the guy, he scans it. But it was really cool just to take a trip away and go to Sun Valley. I lived there for a summer when I was in college. It's changed a lot since I lived out there, and I love how big the mountain is. And I've been there many other days where the skiing was phenomenal. It's just whatever I seemed to get unlucky with. They didn't tend to groom a lot of the runs, and a lot of it got really skied off. And I watched a couple of World Cup runs. It was very separate from the general public. So my options were kind of watch it from the chairlift as I went up, which is what I really did, or go stand in the bleachers that they had set up. And after I spent $200 on my ticket, I was like, I don't know if I need to stand in the bleachers. I don't know. I love ski racing. I like watching it kind of from home. But if I have the option to ski or watch someone else ski, I tend to lean towards actually skiing. That's just my own personal thing. I have a hard time just standing there in the bleachers and watching someone come down the hill. But it was cool. The runs I saw from the chairlift were super awesome, and it was cool to see that whole area really filled out with people and all these people from the ski community kind of living it up. And I did have a lot of fun. Like, what was the term I said? I feel like a pig in the mud. Like, I always find a way to have fun. Like, the snow's super loose. Okay, you kind of wash out your turns more and you do this. Or, oh, it's kind of overly firm. Okay, well, kind of sharpen the edges. I don't know if this is just specific to me, but I've always found that I can have a lot of fun in almost any conditions. And maybe that's just being from the East Coast where it's so brutal. Everything out here feels pretty good, but I did have a lot of fun. I just found that the conditions were not optimal for testing the skis, so I've been on the fence about whether or not I want to review them, although I do think I got enough information to kind of get a feel for it. So it's in the queue, and just in general, there are other skis that I did earlier. Like I said before, I'm working through a backlog, so if you do see those, it'll probably be farther down the line. But I had a ton of fun in Sun Valley, and if nothing else, it was cool talking to the people at Stockli. They're very passionate about their skis. They're very dialed in on things, and I had just a blast talking with them, and trying out their skis in general is always a treat. So there should be at least some Sun Valley content in the future. All right, Jared G WV says, I still can't believe Reddit says you're in an entertainment channel and not for in-depth reviews. Well, at least they think I'm entertaining. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm just so battle hardened from doing the BMA junior program, but it takes a lot to hurt my feelings with ski stuff. So, you know, I look at a comment like that, I'm like, oh, there's like a little bit of a compliment kind of baked in there. You know, at least I'm entertaining, if nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I'll take your word for it. I have not seen any Reddit comments about that stuff. I do know that there are like certain threads that have come across my radar with like ski talk and new schoolers where, I don't know, there's just people who have negative opinions on me, but I just don't care. I don't know, right? It's like, I'm not doing this for money, certainly, as you can tell. I'm not doing it for anything other than like the love of the game. I like talking about skis, I like testing skis, and I like giving my honest opinion. And to me, it always felt like there's a little bit of a void of just somebody giving their honest opinion that isn't selling something or isn't getting paid by the brands. And so it always felt like, well, if no one else is doing it, I'll just do it myself. As far as how in-depth my reviews are, I try to be as in-depth as I feel is relevant. There are things where I could be like, okay, well, I could take a ski jacket and I could take the zipper for the little sleeve pouch and I could run it underwater for 24 hours and I could scientifically measure how much water's coming through. And in the future, like maybe that would be cool content for some of the waterproofing. But what I do is I go, okay, like on a practical level, let's take it out in some snowstorms, let's take it out in some rain. And as a consumer, what did I actually feel? Did this jacket not live up to what it needed to do? And then, like from a quality of life standpoint, just kind of holistically, how does this product feel? If I bought these skis, would I feel like I got my money's worth? For the skis that I have bought, did I feel like I got my money's worth? So I really try to figure out, like, also, who is this ski for? I mean, we're all spending a ton of money on ski gear, boots, skis, it all adds up, and there's nothing worse than spending a bunch of money, being told, oh, this is the best ski, and then feeling like it didn't suit you or it wasn't the tool for the right job. So a lot of what I go into this trying to do is saying, like, bang for your buck, is this a good product? Does it do what you need it to do? And what does it do well? What does it not do well? So like DPS skis, they're really good in the powder. It's such a good feeling in the powder. But I would be pretty peeved if I took them on the ice. Let's say I'd had like a Kaizen 105. If I took that to the East Coast and had to go on J Peak or, you know, Burke and go on the Big Dippers where it's really firm and chattery, would I feel like I had spent my money well? And the answer is no. But if I was out in snowbird, out in Bogus Basin on a soft snow day, yeah, they feel great. So just trying to connect people in a way that they're not wasting their money on skis that I think are good. But, you know, I'm not perfect, and I'm just trying to be as honest and thorough as I can be and as I feel is relevant to you guys. So I'm trying my best, I don't know. But, you know, if I worried about what Reddit thought of me, I'd be here all day. So I just have to kind of let it roll off my back and go, okay, trying the best I can. You know, this meets my standards and that's all I can live by. So anyway, maybe I'll make another question and comments. Of course I will, like, eventually, but maybe I'll try to do another one and answer more questions. I feel like I kind of got on a few tangents there. But for today, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I will have links down below to all of the deals. I'm building out a deal video. It'll either be this week or next week because I want you guys to find good deals, but I keep a running list of good deals, so I will put that down in the description. If you are shopping for skis, please consider using our affiliate codes. That's what helps keep us independent. You can also like and subscribe. We have channel memberships, so your comments get prioritized. But more than anything, just thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. It means a ton to me that you guys actually want to watch my stuff, that you're engaged, that you leave nice comments. I see you guys, like, sometimes I don't get to someone's question and you guys will be in there helping each other out. And to me, I've never really cared too much about how big the channel is, other than like when I'm trying to talk to ski brands about like actually getting my hands on gear. But more I care about the quality of people that are in my comments and the quality of the community of people watching my videos. And I could not be happier with how nice you guys are, how helpful everyone is to each other, how insightful you guys all are and passionate about skiing. So to me, I can't say thank you enough. I'm so proud of everybody in the comment section. And as always, just thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.